a wild Wednesday and anything goes here on Good Day Columbus. We have the cutest little animal here today.
There's a penguin here,
and Beth is here too. Yeah, I don't know which way to go with this. They're both adorable.
Beth is here from the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. So does he count as zoo or aquarium? Ooh, tough call.
Well, he's kind of a little both. You know, they do like to be in the water, but they also like to be on the land, too. Yeah. This is a cliff-dwelling kind of penguin, too.
What is he?
This is Flounder. That's his name. And he's a baby African black-footed penguin. So we have Humboldt penguins that are on exhibit at the zoo. So this is one of our special animal programs animal that you can see at our Animal Encounters Village. And they'll be swimming in the summertime. And then, of course, when we do special spots like this and things like that. And he's just under a month. He's 20. Really? I'm kind of one of those moms. He's 27 days old.
Right.
You know.
Now, these are still feathered. It looks like fuzz.
It does. This is his downy fluff. And actually, this keeps him really warm. So even with the lights in here, he's going, oh, it's a little warm in here. And this is what keeps them nice and insulated, you know, when they're babies. But he's going to lose this fluff. He'll get a set of juvenile feathers, and it'll be this kind of gray coloration until he hits a year old. And when he hits a year, he goes through a molt. He'll lose all those juvenile feathers, and he'll get his adult tuxedo. Okay. So it takes him a whole year to get ready for the prom.
Where are the black-footed penguins from?
These guys are found off the southern coast of Africa, so they're a warm weather penguin. Okay. And that's the biggest misconception that we have about penguins, is that they're all found in the cold.
Right.
So when you say warm weather, what?
70 degrees, 80 degrees. Even this morning, it's a little chilly for him outside right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Subtropical and your tropics are where these guys are going to be found.
Can you show us his feet?
Sure, I know. He has enormous feet, doesn't he? So he'll grow into these eventually, but right now he's super huge. He doesn't walk, he walks well, but not so well. He's a little stumbling.
And we are very carefully moving him around because, as you can expect, babies, you can never predict when that urge
going to happen.
They go to the bathroom a lot.
Yes.
It's true, and they don't have control over it. It's just whenever the whim hits them, it doesn't matter where they are.
But he's got this projectile thing going on.
He does, he does.
He's breathing really funny.
Yeah, he's warm, believe it or not. This fluff keeps him warm, and with the lights in here, he's warm right now.
Now, these obviously aren't wings. These are flippers for him, right?
So we always say, even though that penguins aren't aerial flight birds, they can fly through the water, so they can reach some pretty fast speeds when they're swimming through the water, and he uses his flippers to do that.
Well, what does he eat right now?
He is actually two different things that we feed him, a baby gruel, so a baby food for penguins, and it is literally blended fish with all the pieces. And then he's big enough now that he can actually eat some small fish right now with all the scales and everything on it, so we don't have to fillet everything anymore like we used to when he first hatched out.
Oh yeah, that's projectile doo-doo we don't want.
Yeah,
no,
we don't
trust me, it smells pretty bad. It's not a good day. It's pretty stinky.
When they're in the wild, of course, they're swimming around, and they would go find fish on their own. Will they learn to do that in a zoo, or because they're being fed, do they just not worry about it?
No, they can. We do enrichment with our penguins on exhibit that they'll put live fish sometimes in the pool. Sometimes they chase them, and sometimes they're like, yeah, I'll wait till my keeper comes.
This is easier.
But they will pick up on it. They still have all those natural instincts.
Okay.
So he even has like a natural feed reflex that when we cup his face like this, he might do it for us. Are you going to show him? So that's his feed response, and this is what he would do to his parents, and then they would regurge into his mouth. We don't do that. We take our job very seriously, and we're pretty dedicated, but I'm not chewing up fish and spitting them back out in his mouth for him. No thanks. I'm not a fish eater myself. I know. I really got to work on that.
Is he a lone baby?
You know what? He had another little baby hatched as well. That's about 5 or 6 days behind him, and they love to snuggle. Even though they're not siblings. No, wait, they are siblings. They were 2 separate egg hatches. So, but they like to kind of hang out, and we kind of try and keep them separated because he's kind of a big little guy, and the other guy's a little smaller. So he kind of squishes him a little bit. When he wants to snuggle, he likes to be on top, and so we have to kind of watch that. But eventually, they find each other again. So we have a towel that separates them in a roll, and then you come back in, and they're both snuggled sleeping. So
real quick, we need to talk about Earth Day coming up this weekend.
So we do have our Earth Day celebration this weekend on Saturday, and we'll have all different types of arts and crafts for the kids to do around our conservation lakes. So when you walk right in the zoo, the big main lake that we have, they'll have different booths from, all different stuff with activities and crafts and things like that for everyone to do. So hopefully the weather will hold and it'll be nice.
Weekend's looking good.
Oh, good.
Weekend's looking good so far.
We've had such a hard winter. It's nice to have some spring.
Thank you. This is the one penguin we're really going to root for today. This one right here.
Yeah, he says thanks.
It's the only penguin we're rooting for today.
Right, that is true.
Absolutely.
He says, I root for the Blue Jackets, don't worry.
Attaboy. Attaboy. For more on the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, go to myfox28columbus.com and click on news links.